I ran across a really neat article by a researcher named Gil Jesus, and it's called The Ammo and Oswald's Rifle. It looks at what the Warren Commission said about the availability of the ammunition. He looks at their conclusions, what they stated about the availability of the ammo, and then looked at the FBI's investigation into where Oswald got the ammo. And the contradictions are absolutely astounding. He starts his article out with a quote from the commission. And I think in the report, there's a section called Speculation and Rumors. The Warren Report, page 646. Speculation. Ammunition for the rifle found on the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository had not been manufactured since the end of World War II. Commission finding. The ammunition used in the rifle was American ammunition recently made by the Western Cartridge Company, which manufactures such ammunition currently. But Mr. Jesus has a copy of a letter that a researcher named Stuart Gallinor in 1965 wrote to the Western Cartridge Company to ask him about that very thing. Well, he gets a letter back from a guy named R.J. Gabellin with the Western Cartridge Company. And he says, this is not being produced commercially by our company at this time. Previous production on this cartridge was completed back in 1944 against government contracts. In other words, he's telling them, we haven't made this ammunition since 44. At this point, let's jump to Commission Exhibit 2694, page 12. This is where the FBI's investigation, where Oswald could have possibly gotten this ammo, begins. So, right here in Commission Exhibit 2694, page 12, having to do with the investigation into the ammo. Mr. R.W. Botts, District Manager, Winchester Division, Olin Matheson Chemical Corporation, a division of Olin Industries, manufactured a quantity of 6.5 millimeter Mannlicher Carcano ammunition for the Italian government during World War II. And that's it. So what does the guy do? According to this report, this FBI agent immediately begins a canvass. He begins a canvass, telephone contacts. Says here under listings for ammunition, guns, hardware stores, pawn shops, department stores, discount stores, sporting goods stores, Army Navy stores, all in Dallas. You know how many gun shops he found in Dallas and the surrounding areas that carried this ammunition, Lynn? 2.
Right.
Only 2. Guy named John Thomas Mason, who owned a place called Mason's Gun Shop. The other guy was a guy named Charles Brenniger. He owned a place called the Gun Shop. Mason told the FBI in March of 64 that he purchased 10 boxes of this ammunition from Johnny Brenniger in early 63 and sold all 10 boxes intact to individuals. He was not able to recall the identity of any of the persons whom he sold this ammunition to, and he sold all 10 boxes with a military load. Now, that's very important. He sold all 10 boxes of these with a military load. Later, he purchases another 10 boxes of the same ammo from the same guy, Brenniger, the other gun shop. But he claims this ammunition was being used for deer hunting, and he pulled the copper bullets and reloaded them all with lead bullets for hunting. Now, even though he could remember who he sold any of these bullets to, he knew emphatically that he had never seen Lee Harvey Oswald, had no collection of his ever having come to his place of business, and had never sold any of that ammo to Oswald. He knew that. He didn't know anybody else, but he knew that. Now, Brenniger, this other guy, he's the only other guy in Dallas that carries this ammo. He told the FBI that he purchased an entire case from the Century Arms Company in Alexandria, Virginia in 62. He sold 10 boxes of this ammunition to Mason, traded him another 10 boxes later in 63. Now, Mr. Brenniger stated he pulled the bullets from some of this ammunition also and reloaded them with a hunting load, a soft-nosed bullet. Others he sold with a military load. This guy also did not know Lee Harvey Oswald, said he never sold Lee Harvey Oswald any bullets. The matter was dropped. The FBI was unable to find out who they did sell the ammunition to. And what you got to think about is the logic. One thing we know for sure, they were reloading these cartridges with lead bullets for hunting, making the copper-jacketed military bullets even harder to find. Okay, most of them have been reloaded for deer hunting. Again, quote from the Warren Report, the cartridge is readily available for purchase from mail order houses as well as a few gun shops. The ammunition used in the rifle was American ammunition recently made, which manufactured by the Western Cartridge Company, which manufactures such ammunition currently. And the company that made them tells them straight out in the report, we haven't made that stuff since 1944, but they ignore it. What I find interesting about the two exchanges of ammunition between Brenniger and Mason is that the first occurred in early 63 at a time when A. Heidel was allegedly ordering his rifle. The FBI report says the first exchange of 10 boxes Mason sold with a military load, the second he sold with a hunting load. Which brings us to Mason. I believe that Mason never sold any ammo to Oswald, but I also suspect that somewhere in the sales of those first 10 boxes is the person who framed Oswald, or at least obtained the ammunition to frame Oswald with. And if you look at the timing, it makes sense.